525, hello. Mandy, hi. Sandra, welcome. Jesus, hello. Hello, Jane. How's your day been? Chrissy, welcome. Thanks for those likes, everybody. Thanks for the likes, Jane. Ella, welcome. Hello, handsome. Nubia, hi. Last time I saw your live, you gave me really good advice, and I appreciate it a lot. Well, you're welcome. Listerina, I'm glad I could help. Gwendolyn, hello. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Ashley Ann, hello. Jane, thanks for the likes, I appreciate it. Armani, welcome. Leo, hello. How are you, Angel? Hello, Amy. Scotty, hi. Hello, Jojo. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Atizo and Mark, welcome. Hi there, everyone. Hello, Sam. How's your day today, everybody? What'd y'all do? What's advice for tonight? Well, Jail, what advice you need tonight? How are you doing? I'm doing good, Perry. Beauty hacks, hello. Can I ask a question about today's video? Of course you can. Of course you can ask the questions about today's video. Today's video didn't upset people as much as I thought it was going to. Tomorrow's video I'm nervous about, though. Maybe I won't post it tomorrow. Maybe I'll post it Thursday. I have one video that I'm nervous about. I love hearing your voice before going to sleep. Well, thank you. Hello, Sphere. Lana, welcome. Jane, thank you for those likes. Alfredo, hi. Hello, Michelle. Everyone who's new here, click that follow button. I appreciate it so much. Everybody who drops a corgi tonight, I'm going to follow you back. Let's drop those corgis. About dating people who travel. Any thoughts on truckers? Christopher and Michelle, thank you for the follow. Felicia and Bob Waters, thank you for the follow. Jenny, hello. Thank you, Beauty Hacks. So my issue with people who travel for work in general is that's a very avoidant thing to do. Kayla, hello. Me personally, I don't want to date somebody who is away from the family for a living. You know, I personally want to make a living where I can tell my wife that she doesn't have to go to work. So that way we have time as a family. I wouldn't want to date or marry somebody who's gone all the time. For starters, it's a very dismissive avoidant thing to do is have a traveling job. And dismissive avoidants are more likely to cheat than any of the other attachment styles. So when I give my advice, it's not 100% everybody who travels for work are going to cheat. But they're more likely to than people who don't. And I try my hardest to save you from getting cheated on with my advice. Thanks for likes, everybody. You know, it's kind of like the stats of club goers is a 50% chance of being a cheater. That does mean that 50% of people who do go to clubs are loyal. But that a coin flip, I don't like those odds. I don't like the odds of a coin flip. That's what I want, but no one wants that nowadays. A lot of traveling jobs pay good damn money. Well, if you're paying for my therapy after you cheat on me, go for it. You know, like money isn't everything. You know, like figure out what you need for the life that you live, and once you hit that, we should be living life, not hoarding money. You know. Hello, Bianca. Chess, welcome. I feel like people who are just obsessed with hoarding money and they value money over love and connection. Hi, Bianca. Like, if you value money over love and connection, you're never going to really live life. You're just going to be the squirrel from Ice Age gathering nuts. That's your life. You know? I would rather have somebody who I would rather have a partner who makes like 50K a year and doesn't travel for work than somebody who makes 200K a year, but they're gone every 2 weeks. No thanks. What do you do if you're in a long distance relationship and they are working 2 jobs? If you're working a long distance relationship, there should be some sort of plan to make it not long distance. Like, it shouldn't be we're going to stay long distance forever. If we're going to pursue long distance dating, a long distance relationship, we need to figure out if we like each other fast, and then one person's got to move, you know? Like a long distance, it shouldn't be long distance for more than like 6 to 8 months. It should be moving towards something more serious. I like the squirrel over my sage. Hello, Jen. Hello, Strawberry. This shirt very wide open today. This a hoodie today. Hello, loves. How is everyone? I'm good, Strawberry. How are you? Christian, hello. Are you okay? I am okay. How are you, Danica? Hello, Ken and Love Rangers. Hi. Christian, thank you for the follow. Well, how much is your phone bill? I mean, your electric bill. Because TikTok alone covers all my bills. And I don't have to be gone every other week to pay my bills. I do TikTok from home. We do plan to eventually move in together. It's just a matter of who's going to move. Yeah, figure that out. Incredibly handsome. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. You're so handsome. Well, thank you, Gapsters. I appreciate it. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Marcella, hello. Elaine, thank you for the likes. Manisha, hi. Like, I get that there are circumstances and some people travel for work and they're not cheaters. Melissa, thank you for the ice cream cone, but I'm not going to risk it. You know, like, I don't want, me personally, I know what my life looks like, the kind of life that I want. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's gone all the time. I don't want that. So if that's you, cool, you're not for me. And I would advise anybody who wants the same things that I want to also not risk it. Like, dating apps, I don't know, like, obviously there's less pilots than there are flight attendants. As a man on dating apps, there's so many flight attendants. And it's like, do you live here or you just touching down? I just feel like traveling jobs is such a red flag. It's so easy to cheat when you travel for a living. My second requires me to go most weekends, and I have never... You're also dismissive, avoidant, Anna. You know. So, of course, you don't have an issue being on all the time. Which is my point earlier. It's a very dismissive, avoidant thing to do, is have a job that takes you away all the time. Yeah, I don't want long distance or always gone partner. No thanks here. It's too risky, I agree. Kind of wish I had my own alien right now. My ex was home and found his mistress at work. Yeah, I'm not for everyone. Right now I'm in Ohio for a week for work, and my partner knows I would never cheat on him. Yeah, all I see is flight attendants next. Yeah, flight attendants are all over dating apps. You know, never be me. Hello, Cody. You're really picky nowadays. You should be picky to an extent. Like, we should be filtering who we even pursue. And that's just one of my filters. Like, if you travel for work, thanks but no thanks. There are certain things that I just don't like about someone. I don't have a spicy page, Brian. This is as spicy as I get is on here. Cops all over dating apps. Yeah, we want to stay away from uniforms and we want to stay away from travelers. It's impossible to have a relationship with someone who is not there. Facts. Facts. Linda T, welcome. But I am currently working on developing a course where I go through my mindset when it comes to, figuring out the kind of partner you want and what that partner looks like, and looking out for certain behaviors that you don't like and to stay away from them, because people with those sort of behaviors will probably never change. And then I'm going to take you through actual relationship stages, all the way until hopefully the forever after, the happily ever after, and how to get there. I don't like horror movies and talking about bad things for hours. I don't even want to date. Only live. Do you stay away from someone who doesn't have a plan for themselves at all? No. I'm a man, so that literally doesn't matter. Like everything is a trade-off, Like I don't care what my wife's plan is for her. Like if she doesn't have a plan for herself, it's fine, whatever. It's my job to take care of her anyway, huh? Someone who says they love horror movies, I don't like violent movies, and so therefore wouldn't enjoy that. Where does one find a good man? Divorced 50-year-old teacher. Well, the older we get, the harder it is to find people. Like it was easiest in our 20s. It's the second easiest in our 30s, and it's downhill. It's downhill from our 20s. Where to find a nice man in his 50s? Who's here in their 50s that can help Melissa? Where are the 50-year-old men that are a catch? Hello, Liza. No such beast. Lori, thank you for the follow. Hi, Super Hello. So I'm doomed. It's tough out here. Like, it really is hard. Like, anytime I see a video about they're trying to slide into my DMs, but they're not a catch. You're open to 40, 60. Like, anytime I see a video about, like, women getting the ick or a guy was too nice, I'm like, you're in for a rough ride. Like, you're over here willing to let go of somebody over tiny things. Like, I promise you, there's not a lot of good people out here. It's really hard to find somebody who's going to be good to you. It's really hard to find loyal people once you enter your 30s, because we're kind of the land of the misfit toys. Like, if you're single in your 30s, it's either because you're unhealthy or you got discarded on your way to forever. Like, those are the options. You're either bad at relationships or you were thrown away on your way to forever. We're like the land of misfit toys. And then it's like, if the people who were discarded, who are good people, can find each other in their 30s, then it's like, what's left by the time you're in your 40s? And you're a good person. Like, a lot of toxic people. And it just keeps getting worse and worse because, the good people are going to pair up with each other. It's tough. It's tough. The older we get, it's tough. Was married for 25 years, so things are definitely different and hard. It is hard. Like, I was in a relationship for the entire second half of my 20s. Like, being single in my 30s, I didn't know what I was getting into. I don't know what I was in store for, and it's not fun. It's not fun out here dating. It's awful. Like, it's so bad. social media is toxic with all the bad advice that is out there too. I agree, Bianca. Like a lot of advice that just turns men and women against each other instead of bringing people together. Too nice. There's no such thing as too nice. I know. I saw this this reel on Instagram of this like multi-millionaire woman, and she was talking to this real estate guy who also makes multi-millions, and he was like, so what happened with your ex? Did he cheat on you? And she's like, no, he didn't cheat on me. And he's like, he was too nice, huh? And she's like, yeah, I'm like, I just want to throw up. Like, girl, it doesn't get better, I promise. Like, there's not this pool of awesome people who are loyal and who are going to treat you well just waiting to date you. It's not reality. It's not reality. Like, if we have somebody good who loves us and we're attracted to them, we should do everything we can to make that relationship work. Because it's hard out here. It's worse in the 40s. I assume so. I saw my ex today. It was our daughter's first birthday. Well, happy birthday to your daughter. But the Misfit toys all found their place. Yeah, like that's the goal, is the Misfit toys find our place in our 30s. Ew, Liza, we don't like that. You really have to find a social club and be happy in your social. That's how you find the over 40. You seem great as a Misfit toy. Well, thank you. Us in our 30s date nothing but narcissists. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is like, if you're in your 30s and single, you got there by either dating narcissists and you haven't woken up to that fact and you get rid of them early, or you are the narcissist, or you've been thrown away by one. Like those are the options. You were either in a long-term relationship married to a narcissist and you left or got thrown away because you couldn't take the abuse anymore, or you're somebody who's entitled and your entitlement led you to dating nothing but narcissists because you love the status that they brought to your life and that's what you want, and you won't settle for less than somebody who makes X amount of money, and you just get chewed up and spit out while they go date a 22-year-old, and now you're in your 30s. Or you are the narcissist or borderline personality disorder, and you're just bad at relationships. Like that's all that's all that's left in our 30s. So we kind of have to look in the mirror when we get here and look for the things that are wrong with us and fix them. It takes a lot of self-awareness to be successful in finding a partner in your 30s and beyond. A lot of self-reflection and how can I step up and be a healthy person in our 30s, like in our dating pool. You know, like if we all just stepped up to be healthy, then it's kind of like a little restart. It would kind of be like being in our 20s again. And I feel like we're getting there. You know, I feel a little hope. Like a little hope for our future. There is a lot of talk about mental health in a way that there wasn't 10 years ago. And I feel like it's just going to keep getting better, hopefully. Because here's the thing, is like, I feel like narcissism is getting more rampant. And the kind of advice that's being put out there with like the men this, women that advice, where men and women just hate each other, and they hate each other because they're told to date and think like a narcissist. You know, we have Andrew Tate telling men to be a narcissist, and we have Sprinkle telling women to be a narcissist. And these aren't narcissists, though. They're telling healthy men and women to act like narcissists to get the opposite. But the healthy person on the opposite isn't going to want the narcissistic man, and the healthy man on the opposite isn't going to want the narcissistic woman. So our society's kind of dooming each other. with all this awful advice of manipulating and being awful to each other. A lot of relationships nowadays need to compete against each other, I feel like. Yeah, I feel the same. But we are super skeptical of everyone. Yeah, like it does have to be a balance. Like, we do want to be skeptical, but we also want to assume the best in people instead of assuming the worst. Because if you're majority skeptical, then your wounds are winning. You know, we have to let our healthy parts win. I feel like we were in the Barbie movie. And you're telling us dating world is corrupt, basically. Single Gen X are the worst daters because we were raised fiercely independent. I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like that's kind of where we're at now with Gen Z millennials. Like I feel like society as a whole puts hyper independence on a pedestal. You know, like the Barbie movie, the point of the Barbie movie was to be like, hey, we're both important. Like, let's be good to each other. Let's find a balance where everybody wins. But people on this side or that side, they took the Barbie movie and they're like, oh, men are so awful, or women are this or that. Like, the Barbie side of the world was hyper independent, and a lot of people came out of the movie being like, Barbie world should be how it is. You know, like, women should be hyper independent and not want love. You know, love shouldn't matter to them. It should be all about success and running from your problems to another world when they show up. Like, it's scary how some people took the message of Barbie movie is that Barbie world is ideal. Like, I feel like media puts hyper independence on a pedestal in a very scary way, because it's not healthy. And I don't feel like it's the fault of whoever directed that movie. She seems like a really intelligent person. I mean, she's a feminist, but she's really intelligent. She makes feminist movies. I feel like she wanted a peaceful message with the movie. But in general, like Hollywood, like of course they're going to put out narcissistic messages. Everybody in Hollywood are narcissists. Duh, they think that's how the world should be, and that's what they're going to push on us. Relationships need trust, respect, and integrity. People look for unhealthy because it feels familiar. Facts, Bianca. Sometimes discomfort is comfort. Like, if you've slept on a bed of nails your entire life, you get used to it. I'm getting married. I hope my fiance doesn't text me and says she doesn't want to get married. I hope your fiance doesn't text you and say that either, Adam. Also, I've experienced a lot of people who aren't ready get into a relationship. Then what happens is the previous issues come up in that relationship. Facts. So basically at 50, I'm doomed to just leave a house of dogs. Sharad, thank you for the roses. You're not doomed, but it's definitely hard. I couldn't imagine what it would be like dating in your 50s. Or some people just aren't compatible. I don't believe in compatibility. Compatibility is a choice. You know, like, not being compatible means that one person isn't healthy. If, like, two healthy people can be compatible, and one healthy person can be compatible with anybody. The only time you can't be compatible if one person is cluster B or a dismissive avoidant. You know, like, secure people can be compatible with everybody. Anxious people can be compatible with everybody. Avoidant people are compatible with no one, because they don't want a partner. They want a roommate. Should I be okay with a guy being with other people during the dating stage? like we've been intimate. I personally wouldn't, Eliza. I feel like once our lips have touched, we are either figuring this out or we're not. If you've been intimate and he's seeing other people, that's not a good sign. I would take that as a not interested for something serious. Facts. Or you're trauma bond to one and abused until 25 liters get thrown away. Psychologically, we look for traits that we grew up from our parents. Yeah, and that's why it's important to work on ourselves so that we're not on autopilot, so that we're not controlled by the puppet strings of our trauma from growing up or our earliest relationships. It's important that we take control of ourselves. Like, it's important that we take accountability for our actions and how unhealthy we are in relationships and work on it and fix it. We shouldn't stay on autopilot. We shouldn't just accept that we're broken. We should figure out how to be healthy. 19 plus years, talk about a culture shock after divorce. That's me, the empath. I've only been with narcissists, but I finally learned and laughed. I'm happy for you, Kristen. Hello, Ashley. Feel that hope, Ken. You'll find your Barbie. Send hope to those old women. Sharad, thank you for all those little TikToks. Give me hope. Don't you think that also the word narcissism is being used a lot? Only 10% of the society are narcs. So 10% is the estimate of the combined cluster B. So narcissism is estimated to be around 5%. And then we have BPD plus sociopathy plus histrionic that makes up another 5% total, for a total of like 10% cluster B. Like, I just don't, like, I feel that's pretty accurate. I feel like that's pretty accurate. I feel like people do throw around the word narcissist without knowing what it is. Thank you so much for the cowboy hat. I appreciate it. People do throw around the word narcissist a lot. And the people who I'm kind of like weary when they tell me about their experiences are, in general, are people with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. So somebody with a dismissive avoidant attachment style is like, oh, my partner was controlling, my partner was a narcissist. Like, those are the people I kind of pause, because I'm like, you're an avoidant though. You think any little sort of compromise is controlling. Like, I don't take it as face value. Like, I will ask follow-up questions with an avoidant. I will try to understand why they feel like their partner is that way before we dive in and give reassurance to what they're saying. So yeah, we do have to be. I don't want to say we have to be careful with throwing around the word narcissism, because I feel like most of us in here understand what that word actually means. But maybe we could do a better job at checking our friends and having the conversation instead of just like, yeah, your boyfriend does sound like a narcissist. Your girlfriend does sound like a narcissist because she wants you home, even though it's 2 a.m. and you told her you'd be home at 11, But your friend's probably not going to tell you that. Your friend's probably not going to tell you, hey, I told my girlfriend I'd be home by 11, so I got to get out of here. Instead, they're going to stick around till 2 a.m. and their girlfriend's going to blow up his phone and he's going to blame her, and he's going to call her a narcissist. His friends are going to call her a narcissist. I hope the guy I'm talking to is my forever. He's so sweet. I'm here to heal him. Well, I hope you end up together forever too. I'm not the most mentally healthy person, but I'm definitely not a narc. We were telling them this 70 years ago, 200 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There is an agenda to separate men from women. Yeah, there's an agenda to separate everybody. You know, like we don't have to get into politics and stuff, but it's clear. Like it's clear that, you know, it's kind of like my triangulation video. If we see whoever's in power as a narcissist on top of the triangle, like we're being triangulated in some form, where that's men or women are supposed to hate each other, or different races are supposed to hate each other, or different political parties are supposed to hate each other. Like if you just say fuck the person at the top and choose love instead, like if we all just chose love and had discussions instead of hate each other, like I feel like making people hate each other is on purpose. A relationship shouldn't be a competition. I agree, Courtney. And that's only the percentage of narcs that are recognized that don't get help. Yeah, so the recognized percentage of narcissism, I think, is actually like only 2%. But it's theorized that it's closer to 5%. But in this culture, that number's probably gonna rise. That's so true. I don't know what to think. I'm really sweet and giving and don't want to be mean. Hello, Julie. I feel like relationships should be balanced. I agree, Ashley. I couldn't get over those 90 boy band style dance scenes. You hear men complaining about women being too masculine, aka independent. Well, that's the truth. Is hyper independence is masculine energy, whether you're a man or a woman. Like that's what it is. Same with an anxious attachment is more of a feminine energy. Security is a balance, and being secure doesn't mean all avoidant traits or all anxious traits go away. It means that we step into them when it's needed. You know, like a good anxious trait to step in is being loving and kind and spending time with your partner, getting them gifts, you know, being present. You know, those are very anxious ideals. And we want those in our relationships. But we also want the avoidant ideals of being okay on our own when our partner is hanging out with their friends or doing their hobbies or working on business. Like we want a balance. We want to be able to step in the masculine when we're apart, but step in the feminine when we're together. You know, and also be able to go back and forth in the moment when certain energies are called for. You know, like, for example, it's masculine energy to make decisions. So it's like, hey, where do you want to go for dinner? As a man, all right, let me figure this out. Let me make the decision. And then if your wife is sick, it's like, okay, now you have to step in your feminine and take care of her. Like it is, we want to step in both, but we don't want to be too much of the other. We don't want to be too masculine, and we don't want to be be too feminine, because too feminine is anxious and too masculine is avoidant. We definitely want to balance. We just want to be good to our partners. Isn't there a reason Barbie came to the real world? Yeah, like what was that supposed to symbolize? Was Barbie supposed to come here and change the world, or was she running from Barbie world? It's a hyper-competitive culture. Hello, Lexi. They did great. You can make a dream home, but even then, doing the same thing day after day is not fun. I felt the agony when she waved hi to her friends making breakfast, but with her auto breakfast cooker. Thank you for all those roses, show rides. What do you look for to make sure they aren't a narcissist early on? You don't. So I've talked about this before, but you don't want to know what narcissism is to diagnose people, Cheyenne. So if it gets to the point of they're a narcissist, it's too late kind of thing. Because that means the mask has slipped. A narcissist is a mirror of you in the beginning of the relationship. So, but that doesn't mean everybody who wants the same things in life is a narcissist. So you're not going to know it's a narcissist until the mask has slipped. So instead of trying to diagnose the people that we're with of like, am I dating a narcissist? Instead, we need to look for behaviors that we don't want in a partner. You know, like me, for example, I don't want to date an avoidant. I'm not going to stick around and find out if you're a narcissist, if you're going to cheat on me. If you have avoidant traits, if you're a bad communicator, if you have a hard time coming home when you say you're going to come home, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you. It's that simple. I don't need to get to the point where I'm diagnosing you with a personality disorder. I simply see the traits in you that I don't want in a partner, and I'm going to communicate that those traits bother me. And if you're not willing to compromise around certain things that are an issue with me, with being in a relationship with me, then I'm just simply out of there. Like, unfortunately, everything can hit at once. You know, like, I can't say that your first narcissistic relationship should be the only time that you know that it's a narcissist, you know, because sometimes the mask slips and everything just hits all at once. Like, maybe the mask slip is them cheating on you. Maybe their mask slipping is them hitting you. Maybe their mask slipping is punching a hole in the wall. Maybe the mask slipping is saying they're going to come home early, but they spend the night at their friend's house, supposedly. Like, maybe their mask slipping is something big, and you're like, I know what this is. I'm out. No thanks. But for the most part, we want to know the kind of partner we don't want. And when we see those traits, just get out of there. Like, we don't need to see it all the way to the end. We don't need to have a tally mark of like, there we go, 5 traits. I was waiting for the 5th one, and there it is. You know, we don't need to get to that point to know somebody isn't right for us. It's hard to break away from your comfort zone, especially if you've only attracted narcissists. I feel like compatibility is if you have similar interests. I don't agree. Like, I can be compatible with somebody with completely different interests than me. You know, like, women are into makeup. I'm not into makeup. And I can date a woman who's obsessed with makeup, and that's all she talks about, and that's all the kind of videos she watches, makeup videos and fashion. Like, I could be into none of that, but we're still compatible when we hang out, and we still have a good time when we do activities together. We still have a good time when we're doing this or doing that. Like, interests are for friends. They're not for relationships. Like, your interests don't matter. Hallelujah. That's how I feel, but nowadays a kiss means nothing to most, it seems. Yeah, I don't know if it's a society thing that kisses mean nothing, or it's like an age thing. Like, oh, what's a kiss? You know, like when you're in your 20s and 30s, it's like a kiss is nothing. Like, I don't know if that's just because we've grown up or it's a society thing. Maybe. Me too. When we exchange numbers, you're mine. Hello, Sarah. He said he hasn't been with anyone else since me, but I think he's going to say we aren't exclusive. We were texting about it and said this combo might be better in person. Yikes. Another night, another rocket ship live. Yeah, I feel like it's brought up more and more. The only person I'd call narcissist is my mom, and it took me 10 plus years to figure that out. Go put up your boundaries so you know where you stand. Facts. You should be a judge that deals with abuse so you can help dig out the truth. Well, what truth is there to be if there's abuse? You know? If there's abuse, there's the truth, you know? BPD has the highest success rate of remission, but you have to be willing to do the work. Exactly. And that's the hard part, is accepting that parts of us are unhealthy and working on it. I feel you'd ask the questions that would help clarify the abuse and what leads to questioning. I mean, abuse is abuse. My questioning is more so about control. You know, I don't trust every single person who says the word control. Like, control is a touchy word, and I want more. Give me more information. Like, if you say the word control, I'm not just gonna take your word for it. You should, but abuse, I'm gonna take your word for it. You should run to be president. Hello, miss. Wishing not hi. What if someone leaves you without say anything in silent? No words, no explanation, then you move on in silence. Miss, you glow up and make them regret walking out. That's stonewalling, definitely not healthy. Run now before you ask the same questions. Facts. 5 years from now, like I've done. Hello, Ashley. Can you spiral back into an anxious attachment style after working on getting to a secure attachment? Yeah, if you don't learn to set boundaries, if you don't learn to stay away from what you know is not good for you. Absolutely. Absolutely, you can spiral back into an anxious attachment style. Like, especially if you aren't aware of what an anxious attachment style is. Because I was a very secure person, and then I dated somebody for a year who was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And by the end, the mental abuse in that relationship was so bad that probably like the last 3 months of that relationship, I would get random eye twitches. My eyelid. It's either my eyelid or my eyebrow. I was 25 and 26 when this relationship happened. I would get little squiggles. And when that relationship happened, it's gone. I've never had them since, like after the breakup. And then I worked on myself. I was secure, and 5-6 months after her, I started seeing my narcissist relationship. And I was secure in the beginning of that, and by the end, I was anxious. It wasn't as bad as the BPD relationship. I wasn't as mentally abused in the narcissist relationship, ironically, as I was in the BPD relationship. But I didn't know I was dating a narcissist. I knew that I was dating someone with borderline personality disorder, but at that time, I didn't know what that meant. When she first told me, I thought she meant bipolar disorder. And I was a cheeky 25-year-old, so I'm like, oh, what woman isn't bipolar? Like, I can handle that. You know, I didn't know she meant borderline. Angel, thank you so much for making that query. Shake its ass. I followed you. But yeah, I didn't know about attachment style. I didn't know about narcissism. I didn't fully understand borderline personality disorder. So I did I started secure, became anxious, became secure again, and I'm anxious again. But now that I understand it, I understand attachment theory and understand cluster B personality disorders, I won't allow myself to spiral back into an anxious attachment style. That's the important part, is educating yourself and learning to set boundaries. You know, love yourself enough to set boundaries and not deal with people that you know are going to hurt you in the end. I don't know if anyone can relate, but I feel like I changed every part of me for different guys in the past. So I don't know who I am. That's what the Barbie movie made me realize. The things my mom does that I used to do that my ex would scream at me for. I get anxiety over it. Hello, Elizabeth. I noticed the other day when I was trying to figure out what to wear. Gorge, thank you, Drake. Love bomb, idealize, devalue, discard. Hoover, repeat the narc cycle. Facts. If you want to have someone treat you the same way, then you better be okay with that. Hello, Megan. Would you date someone who just got out of a relationship 3 weeks ago? No. No. I would continue to talk to them. I would take things very slow, Jamie. Very slow. Very slow. If they are pushing it at 3 weeks, I would be cautious. Like, sometimes we can't help when we come into each other's lives, but like, if I were in that situation, Jamie, I met like the perfect girl. If she's healthy, she's gonna also know that she's not ready to date, even if she likes me and wants to be ready. And even if I like her and I want her to be ready, the reality is she isn't yet. So I would probably say something like, you know, we can talk and I like you a lot, but we got to take this really slow while you heal and get over this relationship so that we don't mess up what we have. Angel, thank you for the follow. In a relationship, I need my person to fall asleep, so you can't be out all night. And that's very fair, Elaine. That's very fair, and that's a very common thing. And that's why I personally would never date an avoidant, because they're so inconsiderate of how other people feel. And narcissists are so inconsiderate of how other people feel. They don't care if they're out to 3 a.m. and them being out to 3 a.m. means that you can't sleep. All they care about is, like Anna said, I don't have a curfew. You're not my mom. You're not my dad. Like, that's the way they think, is I don't have a curfew. Everything's about me and my independence and my autonomy. I don't care about you. I don't care that you can't fall asleep. That's not my problem. Angel, thank you so much for the hand hearts. And that's why I stay away from avoidance. They're very self-centered. It's all about them. They don't consider the feelings of their partner. And that inconsideration can take even a secure person to make them anxious. Like, they are poison. Dating an avoidant is pure poison. Hello, Taylor. It's hard to move past the trauma after a horrible relationship. It is hard, but we got to do it. Borderline personality disorder. I had an ex that had that, and I relate to the anxiousness. Oblis Espanol. Hello, Levin. How are you? If I'm bipolar and I have BPD, but I have an anxious attachment and tend to attract avoidance. Yeah, avoidance and anxious people attract each other like a moth to the flame. You know, it's a tale as old as time. Am I single, EA? I am single. Hello, Steph. But it's also important to remember that everything is on a spectrum. So there are people with borderline personality disorder that aren't necessarily evil. You know, I just so happened to date one who was. Like, everything is on a spectrum. No two people with borderline personality disorder are exactly the same. Just like there are different kinds of narcissists. I'm terrified of a relationships. Never been in one. I'm 21 years old. I see so much going on. Jamie, the good news is you're young. You got so much to figure out, and that's also the bad news. But it's good that you've found somebody like me early on, Jamie. So you can so you know what kind of behavior to look out for while you're going through it, while you're figuring it out. I have BPD, go to therapy, and I'm still learning more. It's such a complex disorder. How are you, Steph? I'm great. How are you? My ex and I don't know he had that. I understand you. How are you, Annie? I'm headed off to bed. My goal was to get you to 5,000 likes, so thank you. Good night. Thanks for being here. I'm so much better now. I have lots of tools, but living with BPD is hell. Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like to have borderline personality disorder. I'm sure it's awful because you almost can't trust. You can't trust your own emotions. Which, knowing that is kind of freedom, but it's also scary at the same time. Of like, I can't trust how I feel about you. It's so tricky. Great live video, thank you. Definitely felt like you really opened up and dug deep into your beliefs. Thanks for the great live. Show Rise, thanks for being here. Good night. Good night, Ken, and all the Barbies. How do you deal with random anxiety issues? So I personally don't have random anxiety, so I can't help you there. All of my anxiety that I deal with is situational based. Like, it's usually caused by something. It's usually a gut feeling when I'm in a relationship or I'm talking to somebody. Like, I have a weird intuition that will give me anxiety, and I will have anxiety if I'm like dating somebody with poor communication skills, and they're maybe in a situation that maybe you should have better communication skills in a situation like that. That's the only time I really deal with anxiety. Or if I'm hyper analyzing myself and I start spiraling about how I haven't reached XYZ goal when I want to be there, then I just feel sorry for myself. I'll feel anxiety over that sometimes. It's true. Hello, Elizabeth. Thanks a bunch. You're welcome, Anna. Please remember to double tap and show the support. Thank you. You're gorgeous. If my boyfriend had a problem with it, he would let me know, in which case I would come up. Well, Anna, when you're a dismissive avoidant, your partners tend to walk on eggshells, so your boyfriend's probably terrified to tell you. But he definitely has a problem with it. I'll tell him for you. I'll tell you for him. He has a problem with it. What do I look for in a woman? Good communication skills, kind, caring, loving, and a nice ass. That's what I look for in a woman. Good night, Eliza. Thanks for being here. That's good that you ask him to come, Anna. There are 4 subtypes of BPD: petulant, impulsive, discouraged, self-destructive. I definitely dated a self-destructive one. Jamie, thank you for the follow. Now present very differently. Same, but I have not figured out all my triggers yet. Me and might be talking and got me good ring. I'm the only man who can somehow get under my skin. Good. Hello, Allie. So when I do have anxiety, I will go outside. I will breathe. I will touch grass. You know, like touch grass is such a meme, but it really helps. It really does help. Touch grass. If you struggle with situational anxiety like I do, touch grass and breathe. Touching grass and breathing helps me so much. Sometimes I'll pray. I don't know if you're religious, but I will pray. I will touch grass. I will breathe. And Jordan are engaged. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Mommy Tess, welcome. The impulsive type. My friends call me Zazzy. Hello. Molly, welcome. We opened up a whole book tonight. We went through a lot of craziness tonight. Starless Night, hello. And I don't remember any of it. Cool light, thank you. Thank you, Angie. Sometimes I'll just open my mouth and let it all come out. I don't know where it comes from half of the time. Hello, Casey. Mindy, welcome. Hello, Christina. Libby Fisher, Taylor's version. Thanks for being here. Big Rob, welcome. Melissa, hello. Hello, user 1005. Gray Fawn, welcome. You're becoming a nightly thing for me. I enjoy it. I'm so happy that I could help put you to sleep, Aline. Can you let me okay? What do you mean? What does okay mean? I texted or don't know if that is better or worse than speaking it. User 10, thank you for the follow. You text what, Angie? Hello, Justine. What did you text, Angie? I don't know what you're saying, user 10. You said what you think you speak, what I feel I text. Oh. Yeah, do that. Sometimes I'll text. Like, my notes are probably so embarrassing. The notes on my phone. Like, when I die, you can look at whatever you want but my notes. Don't look at my notes. Erase those immediately. They're probably so sappy. Thanks for the likes, everybody. All the best. Hello, Paige. Why? I don't know. I'm just a lover boy, you know? I struggle with staying too long or leaving too fast. Leave before I get hurt or abandoned. Agreed. Agreed, Pinky Swear. Write me on Insta. Link tree in the bio. Go follow me. User 31. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, Nina. Yeah, so the staying too long or leaving too fast, leaving before I get hurt or abandoned is very fearful, avoidant thing to do, which is a mixture of anxious attachment and dismissive avoidant. It's tough for sure. Can you see me? Of course I can see you, Elizabeth. Good afternoon. Hello, Nina. Thanks for being here. Tina, hello. Do you do weird things when you're tired? Right now, I'm kind of giving myself a... Yeah, you're fearful avoidant. Right now, I'm giving myself a little foot massage. Hello, Britt. I do kind of do weird things when I'm tired. Hi, cutie. Hello, Tina. How are you? Britt, thank you for those likes. Britt, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it so much. You painted your fridge? Is that allowed? Can we paint our fridges? What color did you paint it? I wish Ken when I'm tired. Why is it hard for exes to remain on friend terms? Like, why would an ex try to sneak into friends with benefits? I need to answer this question, Danica. Danica. What? Flowers, not the whole thing. Danica, what are we doing trying to be friends with our exes? When our ex wants to be friends, they're saying, hey, I want you in my life, but I want none of the commitment. I want none of the pressure to actually do anything for you. I want none of the pressure of being loyal to you, but I still want you in my life. You cool with that? Maybe we'll get it in a couple times. You cool? You cool with that? That's what being friends with your exes mean. No, I'm not cool with that. No, I'm not on your back burner. Like, once we're done, we're done. Even if we're ending on good terms, chapters closed, books closed. On to the next one. Good point. You spurred a question. We're not friends with our exes. I don't care how good the terms were. I don't care if you were best buds and you tried a relationship and you're like, oh, the relationship didn't work out. Let's go back to being friends. No, it's over. You crossed the bridge. Once we've seen each other without clothes on, it's done for. There's no going back. There's no going back to friends. There's no point. It does nothing for your life to keep your exes around. Nothing positive. And I'm sure you do. And I'm sure you're friends with all your exes. BB Lou 8, welcome. But not in this household. We're not friends with exes in this household. What is the draw of being drawn to someone, is bad for you? Any thoughts? So we're drawn for people who are bad for us because we have to prove that we're good enough for them. That's why. People that we know who are bad for us, either we're trying to redeem ourselves from somebody who was similar in the past, and we feel like we have enough knowledge to do it right this time. But like I've said in one of my recent videos, you can't out narcissist a narcissist. You can't out avoid an avoidant. You can't get it right with a narcissist this time. That's not how it works. And the other side is our abandonment wounds are triggered. So we will go after somebody with an avoidant attachment style, for example, even if we're secure or if we're anxious because our abandonment wounds are being triggered. We have to prove to them that we're good enough, that we're worthy of love. We feel like if we do this or that for them, if we spend enough time with them, if we love them the right way, that they will open up and blossom into a flower and love us just as hard as we love them. But that won't happen. It won't happen. That's why self-love is important. It's important to know that you're good enough and that you're worthy of love instead of trying to convince somebody to love you. If somebody doesn't want to willingly love you, let them go. But it's hard to do that when you have a good heart and you have an anxious attachment style, for example. Kind of makes me wish I never dated people. I just want my old friends back. Maybe let's not date our friends, Danica. There's a solution. Don't date your friends. Yeah, I've never been friends with an ex. I've tried to be nice, but I don't reach out to them. That makes so much sense. Angie, thank you for the follow. I've had exes reach out to me, and I just want the friendship back we had before we dated. Too bad. You have to think about them before you cross the bridge. When you're about to cross that bridge, you need to realize, like, either we're forever or I'm losing a friend. Is that worth it to you? Don't date friends and don't date coworkers. Like, why do you think they're your friends in the first place, Danica? Margarita, hello. They were just waiting for their turn and you gave it to them. They were waiting for the moment and you gave it to them. Of course they want to be friends with benefits still. That's all they wanted in the first place, was to sleep with you. I only talk to the ex I have kids with. Nobody else. It's not worth it. My new guy's a coworker. And don't date people who can't fight more than 50 keys. But if you and I friend have a connection, you're bound to date them. Yeah, that's why male and female friends are bullshit. Because one person's in love, always. Always. One person is always in love. Unless both of you are completely busted, one of you's in love. If both of you are absolutely atrocious, then sure, you can be friends. But if even one of you is kind of cute, one person's in love. Guaranteed. And if it's not you, it's them. It could be both of you. Your friend already had the connection when he started being your friend, Danica, is what I'm saying. And then you had the connection back. He got what he wanted. He probably won, I don't know, maybe, I don't know who broke up with who. Maybe he wanted you forever and realized after he got what he wanted that he didn't want it anymore. Capricorn Ice Law. So they come back because they want more cookies from your jar. Exactly. You know, like guys don't come up to women and tell them they have nice hair because they have nice hair. You know, when a guy says, "Wow, I really love your hair," what they're saying is, "I would really love to pull your hair." That's the translation. No man is gonna just compliment your hair, unless they're into dudes, which there's nothing wrong with that. A guy who's into dudes can be your friend, but a guy who's into girls, he's not complimenting your hair. Promise. I saw hello. Nicole, welcome. Yeah, true. When I left my ex, the first guy to approach me was my male friends. Shocking. I should keep my ex-boyfriend's numbers if you want to. As long as you're not dialing them. Hello, Capricorn Eyes. All right. I'm going to go to bed, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. Click that follow button if you're new. Follow me on Instagram at SuperCatGaming. Drop a corgi if you don't follow me. Everybody who follows me, everybody who drops a corgi, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow you back. If you want a phone call with me or FaceTime with me to talk more about things that you want to talk about that maybe you can't say on here, or maybe you just want to hang out with me on a phone call while I go for a walk, book a 30-minute phone call. Book a 30-minute FaceTime. Link is in the bio. And if you want this light behind me, link is also in the bio. Go to my Amazon store. Sweet dreams, everybody. Good night. Goodbye. I love you all so much.